Yeah.
I just want to ask you about 2001. When you go to WWF, it's like, wow, you're probably the most over guy. Well, one of the most over guys. Austin is still there, obviously, but they're trying to make him a heel. It's just one of those things where, like, you're not world champion, but you're feuding with Jeff Hardy. You're having great matches. Then you're feuding with Steve Austin a little bit, Kurt Angle a little bit, having these great matches. Was it ever a thought of yours like, wow, like I should have been champion then? Like you were the most over guy? Because at that point, in my mind, I'm like, oh, maybe Vince doesn't like him or something. You know what I mean? Or maybe because he's not from WWF. Does that ever like cross your mind? Like, man, I'm the most over guy here. Or one of the most over guys. I should be champion, or I should be higher up on the card.
I don't remember it feeling that way at all. I remember being very humbled. I think, the fact that I'm winning. Triple H comes out, hits me with a pedigree. Just over and over and over, I felt like at that time with that competitive state of mind, like, okay, how many times do we have to tell the story that I can't beat this guy, no matter what? Every time we work, I cannot beat him, even if I beat everyone else, and that's how I felt. And so I felt humbled. I didn't feel like I wasn't really riding the high that my character was. I was still being told some things, and then the plans changed at the last minute and stressing me out, and having like certain things told to me, conversations that were happening where people were for me, other people were against me, voicing their opinions. And there was always like so much going on that I never felt like I was the guy. I mean, I had my connection with the crowd, and that was my favorite part of the day. Boom, when I go through the curtains and I get that pop, I look around for all the signs. Everybody had an RVD sign. I pointed at them, can I go them? All that was real. And I was like, no matter what they do to me, this is real. They can't take this away from me. That's how I felt. But at the same time, every year, when after WrestleMania, when they do a round of firing, everyone is so shocked. Like, oh, can you believe they let so-and-so go? And then, the egos that they have to feel like they're untouchable, and really feel like they couldn't be fired. I don't know what that's like. I felt like the whole time I was there, even though I was really connecting and I knew the fans loved me and I knew that I was loving my matches and all that, there was enough going on to balance that out in my head to where I still, felt like I was definitely expendable if they chose, to do this instead of this one time.
Yep.
For me, it was more like, oh, I'm not fired? Okay. That's how I felt.
Any heat there with Triple H over, like, maybe not now, but over the years that, like, oh my god? Because I remember being a fan of those days of like, man, this guy's okay. He's got to be Booker T. He's got to be Michaels. He's got to be Kane. He's got to be Goldberg. Like, he beats RVD, he beats Jericho. Like, he's not that big of a star. Like, why is he beating everybody? Was there ever any heat with Triple H?
Well, I mean, I wasn't happy about the situation at the time. You know what I mean? Again, competitive state of mind. You don't look at it when you're across the ring from them and you're both competing for the love of the crowd. You don't look at it like, hey, this guy is not a CEO, but whatever his position was at the time, he is qualified to make important decisions. He sits in on the meetings. He's one of the guys that directs the paths of where the whole show is going. You don't look at it like that. You look at it more like it's not fair just because he's with the boss's daughter, and really there's so many more variables to it that you just don't consider at that time. And a lot of wrestlers don't grow enough to see the whole picture. So forever, their opinion will be like it is in the book they wrote, where they're like, if it wasn't for him, I would have, had a great career. But, really, it is what it is. But looking back, I had great matches with him. He's a really good wrestler. And at the time, I don't even think I could have admitted that, just because I felt, more like puffing my chest out and trying to fight for every inch I could get.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please help me out and like this video, then click the subscribe and get notifications buttons so you don't miss any of my latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Follow us on Facebook at The Hannibal TV for more live streams and videos. And while you're at it, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Hannibal TV.